Hello everyone, this is Lolly. I am at the ScanNCut DX booth for Brother ScanNCut, and I am with Mary here, and she's going to give me a demo on this machine. It's their latest, newest.
It is. This is the ScanNCut DX. So this is the new and improved ScanNCut.
Okay.
The really big difference that those who are familiar with the ScanNCut are going to notice is that it has an auto blade. And what that means, you're still using similar buttons, similar workflow, but what you're going to notice here is there's an auto blade. And what that means is, for example, this is a glitter vinyl material that I set to cut the vinyl and not the backing sheet. You can then put something thick or something different in the very next try, and what's going to happen is your blade is going to read it and say, okay, well, this is thicker, I need to cut more, this is thinner, this is harder plastic, whatever it is that you're putting through. Here's a big swatch book of all the materials put through without any real change to the machine itself, because it is auto-detecting what you're going to do. Now, what makes the ScanNCut special is, as we go in here, the ScanNCut, and let's pick something pretty. Let's pick something. Let's see. Let's do a little Eiffel Tower. That'll be fun. So what makes it special from other machines, besides that you don't need a computer, you can use just from the machine itself, you can move things around. This button right here is one of the 3 ways you can scan. This will let you work with any size material that you want. If you have a scrap, if you have a less than standard size material, if you're working with very limited supplies, this is great. You can, if you don't like waste, you can put your scraps on here and cut, because it will scan it in and then it will show you exactly where your material is. And you're able to work with your material and make sure you're maximizing.
It just looked to see that you had a heart cut out of this material.
So it will tell me that as well. If you're using a partially used material, it'll show you where you've already used, what you've already done, and especially on vinyl materials that can be really useful because they're expensive materials and you want to get the most out of them. So when you are ready to cut, you can cut. And then for any material, so sticker sheets, if you wanted to cut stickers, a lot of times I like to get out my stamps and make masks so that I can mask and do fun stuff with my stamps. Anything you want to do that is half cut, meaning you're wanting to cut the sticker or the vinyl, but not whatever the backing sheet is, you just go in the settings and turn on half cut. And if you have half cut on, once you start, what it's going to do, and it's going to do this whether or not you're doing half cut, it's going to sense for you the material, and then depending on if you said half cut or regular cut, it's going to cut out based on that.
I am not hearing this machine.
It is whisper quiet. It is super, super quiet, which is so fantastic because I don't like to have a real loud, noisy machine. Now I am going to cut around my Eiffel Tower because I am one who, I really like to maximize my material. I really like to get the most out of everything in every sheet, and then I'll just use, probably a little closer to the edge here. So all I'm trying to do is weed this, which means removing the vinyl you don't want, and that is why you can see if I had cut closer, we could still have used that inch or so of material over on the side. So you really have control over how much you do or don't use, and then we can pluck out, it's super quick and easy. Pluck out the other 2 pieces, so that is what it's going to look like. So that is the transfer sheet that it's on. So what we would do from there is just iron it onto a tote bag, a jacket, a shirt, whatever it is that you wanted to then iron it onto and create with. So lots of fun.
Well, that was slick, and I cannot believe how quiet that was.
It really is.
It just suddenly occurred to me that I wasn't having to yell above the din of the machine going in and out like that.
It's really nice for me and for my voice. Oh, well, not to mention at home when you're trying to create and maybe everybody else has gone to bed, or maybe you just don't like loud noise. It has gotten so quiet. It's really, really nice. So whenever we want to cut, we just load our mat and then go. As they say, you know, you can come up with any idea you want, and if you ever have your material kind of trying to buckle up, you just want to go in there and make sure it's nice and flat. But whatever you want to create, whatever you want to do, you always can just go on in here and do it with our ScanNCut. So I'm just going in now with paper. You can cut whatever it is that you would like to cut. I'm just going in with paper and going to try this. And again, we can scan it in. In this case, because I want to size around my unicorn and my saying.
Right, you're just going to create a big
There's
circle.
There's a lot of functions for the scanning. We can, of course, scan something in and create our own cut files. We could sign our name and then scan it in and create a cut file so that I can cut my name out of foam or whatever it is that I would like to do.
So
in this instance, I'm just pulling it down to look at where I want it, and then I can go into edit and I can resize it until it's a size that works for me. I'm going to say okay. And the other thing that we can do if you're not great, I'm not always great with the fine tuning,
is to slide it over.
We can slide it over. We can just kind of bump it over as needed. And if you're not sure, if you can't quite see the screen, then what you can do is you can go in and zoom so that you can see, like it looks like I'm a little too big here. It looks like I'm going off the, and it's no big deal because we can just go back into edit and now size it back down just a little bit to make sure that we are within our boundaries.
Yeah.
Not that I have any problem with coloring outside of the lines, however, when it comes to cutting outside of their paper, that usually is not the best look. And then we just repeat. So this time we're going to say cut. And this time the only thing you really have to remember is if you're using that half cut, you have to remember when you go to cut paper that you want to cut all the way through, turn it off.
Okay.
So like I had an instance where I cut and it wouldn't cut and I thought, oh my gosh, what have I done? Have I broken the machine? No, I just didn't remember to put half cut off.
So now you're sending it in.
And now it'll do its thing. And we can keep talking because it's going to be nice and quiet.
It is very quiet. Mine sits on a wooden table. My Cameo sits on a wooden table, so it's quite the vibration.
Yeah, it's not vibrating. It's not loud.
Wow, that was fast.
It's very fast.
Lovely. Isn't that great? Well, thank you so much for that demo. Thank you so much. We're glad you took your time to help us out and show us this. So this is the SDX 125, yes?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.